गुड डे, गुड इवनिंग। आए तुझे कुछ नहीं कह रहा मैं। सूरज सिंह, let me adjust my computer first. This is Engineer Suraj Singh. Good morning, everybody. नमस्कार सभी को. This is today, 23rd December 2023, and tomorrow is Christmas evening. Christmas 2000 evening. Wish you all the best for whole world. Whole world enjoy Christmas Day. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, मैं सूरज सिंह सिविल इंजीनियर भारत इंडिया से बोल रहा हूँ। आज दिनांक 23 दिसंबर 2023, 23 दिसंबर 2023। अच्छा लगता है बोलने में। एंड दिस डे आई एम विद यू टू डिस्कस अबाउट पावर ऑफ सॉल, आत्मा की शक्ति। बहुत सुंदर सब्जेक्ट। कहने को धार्मिक लगता है, लेकिन ये धार्मिक नहीं है। मैं धर्म की बात नहीं कर रहा। आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट एनी रिलीजन इन दिस रिगार्ड. Christmas is coming, calendar, Gregorian calendar, New Year is coming, so these keep on coming. We have to just bear with all these. Power of soul, आत्मा की शक्ति, पहले भी कई बार मैंने आपसे बातें की. And this time also I'm going to discuss about power of soul, which is something very great for me, for you, for everybody in this world. हम समझें ना समझें, लेकिन शक्ति है. शक्ति किसी धर्म के एंगल से नहीं है, अपने एंगल से है. मेरे अपने एंगल से, आपके अपने एंगल से. आई एम लिविंग बिकॉज ऑफ पावर एंड यू आर लिविंग बिकॉज ऑफ. हम जो रह रहे हैं इस दुनिया में, उसी शक्ति की वजह से है. वो शक्ति कैसे आती है, क्या आती है, हमको नहीं पता, लेकिन हम समझते हैं. वी अंडरस्टैंड हाउ इट हैपेंस. वी कैन नॉट सी, वी कैन नॉट वेरीफाई इट, वी कैन नॉट प्रूव दैट इट इज देयर, बिकॉज देयर इज नो साइंटिफिक वे टू प्रूव इट, एंड साइंस डजंट एक्सेप्ट दिस. बट इट इज अ फैक्ट दैट power of soul works all time, every minute, every second, and within our soul, our body, and everywhere, even in other creatures. So you can say either those trees, for example, all this soul work everywhere. It's in the environment, just like air works in the environment, soul works everywhere. That's a fact of life. And that's why I'm saying my life truths. You should also say your life truths or my life truth. मेरे जीवन की सच्चाई. This is also my life truth that I'm a living being and you too are living being. हम सब जीने वाले जंतु हैं, जीव जंतु हैं. मानव सही, लेकिन है तो जंतु. जीव ही. जीव हम जी रहे हैं इस शरीर के अंदर, और शरीर अगर नहीं होगा तो हम शरीर के बाहर जिएंगे, लेकिन जिएंगे फिर भी. कहने को हम कहते हैं जी मर गया आदमी, मृत्यु हो गई, मौत हो गई, चला गया, स्वर्ग चला गया, स्वर्गवासी हो गया. दैट इज डिफरेंट इशू. बट आई एम नोबडी हैज सीन हेवन एंड नोबडी हैज सीन हेल. दैट्स ओनली इमेजिनेशन. क्या आपने कभी स्वर्ग देखा है? जब हम कहते हैं ये आदमी ही स्वर्गवासी हो गया, स्वर्गवासी हो गया, शरीर छोड़ दिया, मर गया. अब कौन से वासी हैं हम? व्हाट सॉर्ट ऑफ वासी वी आर नाउ? दैट इज क्वेश्चन मार्क. अब मैं यहाँ हूँ, आप भी यहाँ हैं. हम कौन से वासी हैं? हम भारतवासी हैं. चलो, भारत की जमीन पर रह रहे हैं, लेकिन भारत की जमीन तो लोगों ने कहा भारत की जमीन, लेकिन जमीन तो एक ही है. ओनली वन अर्थ, वन वन दुनिया. देयर इज नो भारत, देयर इज नो इंग्लैंड, देयर इज नथिंग. इट्स ओनली वर्ल्ड. सो विश्व है हमारा. हम विश्व के वासी हैं. आई एम विश्ववासी. विश्वासी. अपने विश्व का मतलब कुछ और होता है, विश्वास का मतलब कुछ और होता है. ठीक है, कुछ और होता है, लेकिन विश्व तो है, वर्ल्ड तो है, दुनिया तो है, पावर ऑफ वर्ल्ड है. एंड दिस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ सोलर सिस्टम एंड दिस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ यूनिवर्स. वी शुड नो दैट. हम एक गलत फहमी के शिकार हो चुके हैं किसी भी धर्म के नाम पर. मैं किसी धर्म को क्रिटिसाइज नहीं करने जा रहा, क्योंकि मुझे जरूरत नहीं है उसकी. धर्म एक इमेजिनरी चीज है. किसी ने देखा नहीं है, किसी ने समझा नहीं है, किसी ने यूज नहीं किया. बस चलना है एक पगडंडी पे जो पता नहीं कहाँ जाती है. जैसे मौत होती है, लेकिन हम नहीं जानते कहाँ जाते हैं. कोई नहीं जानता, लेकिन चाहते तो हैं. इस जमीन की चीज को जमीन पे छोड़ जाते हैं और अपनी चीज को साथ ले जाते हैं. दैट इज व्हाट लाइफ इज. यहाँ की चीज, ये शरीर, ये biological body. This is biological body which I got through another body. That is my mother and father. I got this body through them, a combination of my mother and father efforts. I got this body, and even animals and birds and all those got this. So we should not be confused about that, because this is biological body produced by two biological powers, two biological living beings, and there is another body within this body that's called soul. We cannot see it, we can feel it, we cannot verify it, we can know it. We can use it. We cannot prove it in physical or chemistry. We cannot prove it anywhere else, but we can use it. We are using it. We have been using it. We shall be using it. You can say all tenses can be used for this. This solve is continuous without any gap, just like our respiration is without any. You can resemble that solve and respiration almost are same. Only difference is respiration is air, but solve is different kind of respiration that is not material which we know. हम नहीं जानते सॉल कहाँ से आती है, क्या होता है, कैसे होता है, लेकिन हम जी रहे हैं, हम जी रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं, आई एम लिविंग, आई एम वॉचिंग एवरीथिंग, माई आईज आर लुकिंग, माई आईज आर टेलिंग माई माइंड, सी दिस इज दैट, and my mouth allows me to speak, tongue allows me to speak, mind tells tongue you speak like this. Likewise, you can say control stands with mind, and mind means that is control room, or you can say control central control room or top control room. May not call central, we call top control room or body dome which we have here on head. It's here, and that's where control of soul lies in, and that is very much significant to understand. इसको बहुत महत्वपूर्ण इसे समझना होगा. मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ ताकि हमारे भारत के लोग, जो भी हिंदी वाले लोग हैं या उर्दू वाले लोग हैं, वो कम से कम समझ जाएं. अदरवाइज मैं ये इंग्लिश में बोलता हूँ तो लोग ऑब्जेक्शन करते हैं, बल्कि लिखने पे ऑब्जेक्शन करते हैं. कुछ लोग लिखते हैं आप इंग्लिश में लिखते हैं या इंग्लिश में बोलते हैं, हमारी समझ कुछ नहीं आता. लेकिन भाई अपनी अपनी ऑप्शन है. हम खाली अपने देश के लिए तो बात नहीं कर रहे, हम पूरे विश्व के लिए बात कर रहे हैं, और विश्व में हिंदी तो नहीं चलती सब जगह, और हमारे देश में भी सब जगह हिंदी नहीं चलती. साउथ में कुछ और चलता है, बंगाल में कुछ और चलता है, लाइकवाइज. तो इस बात पे मैं ना झगड़ा करूंगा ना करना चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि कम्युनिकेशन है, कैसे भी सक्सेसफुल हो जाए. और हमारे को इस बात को दिमाग से निकाल देना चाहिए कि मेरी लैंग्वेज है और मेरी लैंग्वेज. इफ यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड फाइन, इफ यू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड यू शुड ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. सेम वे इफ आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड अदर लैंग्वेज आई हैव टू ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड लैंग्वेज. दैट्स माय वे. फॉर एग्जांपल, आई स्टडीड इन अरब वर्ल्ड फॉर मोर देन 20 years, and I had to understand some part of that language for purpose of dealing or buying something to handle people. So I'm not saying that I'm master open, but at least we can understand science, we can understand a few words, and likewise, and we can manage with that, and that's very important. But same here applies for language. But language should be, it's up to you. But the important part is communication. संचार होना चाहिए. That is important. What I say, other person should understand, and what other person I should understand. That's the important part. If you don't understand, how far can we do by science? It's not possible. Just like we smile, there is no difference. Like everybody smiles, everybody laughs, everybody views, everybody jumps, everybody dances, and everybody cries, means tears and all that. Runs, and all these are similar. There is no name of language, but only in communication of accent, or you can say script, or you can say communication is only difficult. Otherwise, it is better to use one language for purpose of this until you know other language. And they, my Hindi or my other language comes in a way that people of world understand that. In that case, we can communicate. So I'm not. This chapter is not of language. The only thing I'm trying to explain why I'm using English, because English is a little common and is not exactly that English which English people use. It's very very common, which we learned in our education here in this country and everywhere else, and people can easily communicate with that. That's why that's about soul. So my soul understands that. Soul is here. I'm talking of soul, and soul means Atma, and Atma everybody understands. You also can call it Ju. What is J, what is it? G, Z, Z. G, mera G, my G is that. Mera man, mera, my soul, my spirit, or Ru, yes, Ru. So in Arab world or in Arab, they say Ru. Jinnat also people say. So don't worry about that. That is not my problem. My problem is my objective is understanding that power. That is my objective. Just like we say, oh, mathematics is not problem. My problem is mathematical formula understanding. I can practice mathematics if I can understand that formula. I cannot speak English. I don't understand English grammar or English translation. Just by cramming a few sentences, I cannot say I know English. Same way, by just knowing something, I cannot say that you understand. So but here, what I'm saying is, if you understand solve, you can solve many problems for life, not because of subject, but and enrichment of soul, just like you can say in radioactivity world, we can say enrichment of uranium in atomic world or nuclear world. Oh, enriched uranium, it is same way you can say enriched person or rich person. You can say if you have to make someone rich, you can say enrich it. So rich persons are there. You call rich because they have plenty of money. They have abundance of money, more than required. Same way, if you have plenty of energy in your body, in your soul, you can say your end is soul. In fact, you are soul, I am soul. Without soul, I cannot survive, and that's a fact. ये भी सच्चाई है कि बिना सॉल्व हम रह ही नहीं सकते. This one solve works without telling you, and that is so obedient. It's so obedient. It doesn't care for you if you are thankful to soul or you are not thankful to soul. It's same thing as if you are not thankful to your body works, your mind works, your complete system works. Even if you don't think of it, you don't care for this, it shall work. Same way soul and same way nature is. Nature doesn't ask you whether you require this or don't require it. It gives you. Sun gives you energy. Same way agriculture happens, and same way air works, and same way whatever happens. So we have to realize that they don't care for if we are not giving them thanks. Thanksgiving is not a requirement. Work is a requirement. Performance is required because this universe belongs to God, or you can superpower, whoever God it is. I don't take one name. Whoever God is, that power is actually doesn't ask. This doesn't ask you. Thank you. I seek thanks from you. Don't worry about this. This is my property, and I'm maintaining this. So you can see it's a part of maintenance of life. If I am living, it's also a part of maintenance in eyes of that power. So maybe for me it is life, it is career, it is something, or I have some destination here, some objective there. But for that power, it is none of these. It's that property owner, that's property owner, that has to maintain his caretaker of everything, and that takes care according to its own way. It doesn't ask anybody. Yes, it waits, it finds, it researches which soul is better one. Just like we engage people on work, and we see which one is best, or which one is better, which one is good, or which one is bad. Like this, we classify them according to our observations, experience, notings, or remarks, or whatever it is, how works one performs, what's quality level of that person of performance, what's quantity level. Likewise, we can say here also, God checks his property, examines, investigates, or can say its own property, and then selects out of them. So you can say it's my interview, my examination is going on here. Maybe my long life, it may be 100 years, 50 years, 60 years, whatever. It's, for me, it is a year because of Gregorian calendar. Otherwise, not necessary. It may be 1 hour in that calendar. So it's just a kind of testimonial preparation, testimonial examination. I am under examination. Everybody's under examination. How far can we move? How far can we be made reliable? How much can I achieve degree of you can say reliability, or the dependence, or you can say my performance can be better. It depends upon it. That power just tries to see how does it work, and that is important part, because this earth where we live, we call mundane world in our way, but this is not for us all time. It has to left, it will be left one day. There's no other option. One day we have to go. Maybe we come back, or we have been back many times before. It doesn't matter. I don't know that, but we have to go one day, and that's the important point. And that's why I'm saying soul is very, very important subject. Subject is not defined. Subject is defined in a way the religion defines, but I'm not going to discuss about any religion because that's all imaginary. But I'm saying, and by experience, by virtues of experience, what I could understand, I'm talking about that. By qualification, by education, I'm engineering experience in engineering, and I've seen many, many people of my life, and I work with many nationalities in many, many parts of the world. So you can see differences there. You can have different varying experience, varying people. But I've seen everywhere humanity is the same. There's no difference at all. One thing, race, or you can say color, or language, or culture, or conduct. But all eat food, all sleep, all walk and laugh, all walk on legs, all use minds. Smile is same, laugh is same, laughter is same, weaving is same, singing is same, dancing is same, walking is same. Everything is same, affection is same, emotion is same, weeping is same, tears are same. There's no difference at all. Only difference is little, maybe 2% you can say that is because of language or because of culture. Otherwise, it is same. So I can say just like we see in our country, Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, you can say God's family it is. We're all one family, and that home is Earth, and we are all siblings on Earth. So I don't differentiate into countries. I don't differentiate into religions or like this. Yes, countries are also artificial. We fight for this, but in fact there is only one country, and that is world. And that is only one name, and that is world, or you can say whatever you can say. Name is different. Earth is this, and everybody is dependent on this. That's why I take soul is same for all. Body has same design for everyone, and variation comes only because of involvement of, you can say, environment, and that creates problem. Otherwise it is same. There should be no differentiation on this account. आप इसमें अलग अलग अंतर नहीं कर सकते कि मैं इस कंट्री का हूँ तो मैं ऐसा हूँ, या वो उस कंट्री का है तो वैसा है। नहीं, मैं इस चीज़ को नहीं मानता। सब एक हैं, जमीन एक है, ऊपर वाला एक है, सबका शरीर एक सा डिज़ाइन है, कोई फ़र्क नहीं है, दिमाग सबका एक है। आप यूज़ करें ना करें ये आपकी मर्जी है, शरीर आप अच्छा रखें ना रखें ये आपकी मर्जी है, कोई ज़बरदस्ती नहीं है। आपका शरीर, आप स्वामी, एंजॉय करेंगे उस हेल्थ को आप करेंगे, नहीं करेंगे तो आप नहीं करेंगे। इट इज़ यू एंड ओनली यू who has to enjoy your body, who has to enjoy your mind, who has to enjoy your viewing power, who has to enjoy your brain power, who has to enjoy your world with more and more facilities of your own, and who has to believe in material world, or who has not to believe in material world, who has to think of future, who has to think of present, who has to calculate, who has to move forward, who has to have conception. It all depends on that, and that way your soul moves. And you don't worry about that. Your soul is there. It will not ask you anything. It will give you everything which you require. It understands very well what is your need, what is your requirement, and it keeps on sending that information to you. And you have to use that information. If you don't want to use that information, that shall not be called fault of soul. It shall be called your fault. If you keep yourself in hangover, it's not fault of soul. If you keep yourself sleeping mode, it's not fault of soul. Soul does its job, but you don't do your job. And if you do your job, soul feels happy. It supplies you with more and more energy, more and more power. That is my understanding. Because I have to read nature, I have to read. I'm also nature. In fact, I can't say I'm artificial. No one is artificial. I'm part of nature because I have been produced by nature. No man produced me. No human produced me. No one, no machine produced me. I was born through nature, by nature, for nature. Same way you are born through nature, by nature, for nature. We are living, we are eating nature food, natural food. We are eating food, grains, we are eating whatever else. And that's all nature. Nature gives everything package, you can say. Everything is in package. You know it very well, though I did not accident, but you take example of fruits, whatever fruits, so for a banana, apple, orange, likewise, whatever food, it's completely packed. You pack for supplies only, but for production, there is no separate package required. It comes automatically packed. Even grain comes with cover. Flour comes packed. Complete items are packed. That is beauty of nature. Nature knows more than what you think. How to preserve it, and nature does it. We may call it organic or whatever it is. It is decomposable. Nature knows very well. Nature knows very well this is decomposable. That's why question is package. It keeps it protected from process of decomposition, and there's a limit, this expiry date. Otherwise, this so many, you may say shelf period. It is say 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, 6 months. If you preserve it correctly, rightly, it may be usable for so many days. Otherwise, it has to start deteriorating or decomposing, and in that case, it shall be of no use to you. And that is important point we have to understand. I've been just trying to express means we know everything is available, but only point is pinpointing that, observing that. We know sun is available, but what sun does for us, that is important to know and to understand. 15 crore kilometer location from here, sun stays. And from that 15 kilometer, I'm sorry, 15 crores kilometer, 50 million kilometers, we get our energy from sun. So what a beautiful design, you can see. We are sitting on a very small earth that is just 12,500 kilometers in diameter ball in the sphere. We are getting energy from the here. We are also getting, you can see, it is something miraculous that we may not understand, doctors, but if you read it, is something great. Means for us, something is coming from there, which you never demand, but it comes automatically because God knows what is required by you, what is required for you, how it should be produced, what is processed. God doesn't raise you any question. You go into it, it automatically comes to you because we are all God's properties. God has to take care of God seeking care without fail, without thing. So we should think, if God does all this and we are supported like this, how it is possible that everybody is not supported by power of soul and soul itself, or spirit itself? That is big question. We have to understand. Nobody can teach me this. I am not teaching you. I'm just trying to share with you whatever comes to my mind, एंड दैट इज़ इम्पोर्टेंट। मेरे माइंड में क्या आता है, मैं सिर्फ आपसे शेयर कर रहा हूँ, मैं आपको टीच नहीं कर रहा हूँ, ना मुझे आवश्यकता है टीच करने की, मैं सिखा नहीं रहा हूँ आपको, मैं तो बात कर रहा हूँ आपसे। आपको अच्छा लगता है तो भी ठीक है, नहीं लगता है तो भी ठीक है, कोई झगड़ा नहीं है इसमें। कोई धर्म मेरे सामने नहीं है, ना मैं किसी धर्म को मानता हूँ। देखिए, मानने का मतलब ये नहीं होता कि आप पूजा पाठ करते हैं तो आप धर्म को मानते हैं, वो आपका प्रोसेस है। आप जो भी कीजिए, आपके मन की बात है, आपके माइंड की बात है, आपकी शांति की बात है। लेकिन प्रूवन कुछ नहीं है, ये भी ठीक है। देयर इज नथिंग प्रूवन इन दिस वर्ल्ड, इट्स ऑल, दैट्स व्हाई वी कॉल इट ईदर फेथ और बिलीफ। इट इज नॉट सम आर्टिकल। There is no article, no physical being that can state, I am this. So everything is hypothetical. That is my understanding. Your understanding can differ, and I don't mind that. My understanding is whatever is supported and whatever supports. If I am supported and if I support, both are blessings from there, or you can say resources come from there, and that is main point we have to understand. Power of soul is something long and long you discuss, short and short you understand. In short and short you discuss, you can understand. Long and long means there is so much in that. Everything is operated by soul. Everything. Every living thing, non-living thing, we are talking of two items. I am organic person. My body is organic, and your body too is not inorganic. There's very, very small component of inorganic chemistry. It is mainly organic one. And inorganic are all metals, elements everywhere, which are not parts of body, they're parts of material. So I'm talking of organic material, inorganic material, body, and power of body, a power station of body, a supplies of body's energy, and that is soul. And soul keeps on coming. It never stops. It gives you minimum requirement, or you can say actually it gives you without asking, or even if you don't use, it provides you with power of your existence or survival. And then if you require more and more, it gives you more and more. And that is important point we have to understand. And if you don't understand that point, in that case we can say we are deficient people, we have no knowledge, we have no understanding, and that I can say doesn't work. आत्मा की शक्ति को मैं अभी इतना लिखा नहीं है, फार्मूले मैंने नंबर्स के बना रखे हैं। नंबर्स का मतलब मेरे शरीर में जो आत्मा जाती है वो नंबर्स क्या होंगे, कैसे होंगे, मेरे बॉडी के पार्ट्स में कहाँ कहाँ पे क्या नंबर होगा, वो मैंने तैयार किया हुआ है अपने माइंड से नहीं, भगवान ने माइंड दिया, ऊपर वाले ने कहा ऐसा है तो मैंने लिख दिया। लेकिन पावर ऑफ सॉल के बारे में मैं और सोचे जा रहा हूँ, आखिर ये है क्या। आई गॉट I got some writing of numbers. I prepared some formulas in connection with date of birth or whatever date is there, and we can understand how soul is working, how where it can lead me, and that's I named it applied spiritual number. You can say power of soul applied spiritual numbers, and that is from 01 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there are so many. I worked out for date of birth. I worked out something, and that is not astrology. I'm again saying that's neither astrology, not numerology, not something else. It's only calculation of soul points linked to our body parts, and because soul moves through our body and it then connects from down and from up to natural environment, natural supplies, and that within our body it works only when we use it, and if we don't use it, it won't work, it remains stagnant in body. So that's what I'm trying to explain means what do I want to say. But here I'm trying to explain what is soul, what is power of soul. It is something which is very, very light, no density at all, you can say. And it is in minus world, or it's in what we call negative, or otherwise you can say in our world, relative counting, if you see. Positive and negative are nothing but relative counting, because we have maintained a datum line and that's zero. But datum point, if you consider above zero something, that's called positive, and is something because up below zero, that is considered negative. Give me 4 minutes, please. I will be back because I have to put my light in place. I'll come back in just 1 minute, 2 minutes. Hold on, please. Just a minute, please. Sorry, and forgive me for this. Just have to put some light off and on and have to lock somewhere well. So, my dear friends, I was talking about soul and power of soul, and I know the definition of power of soul, except the calling you or talking to you. I shall also show you some files I cannot show here in YouTube because screen share is not available here. I prepare another video for that. I many times I did before as well. I go through Zoom because on Facebook also I've been banned for a couple of weeks. So no issue. I was talking about soul. मैं आत्मा की शक्ति की बात कर रहा था. आत्मा की शक्ति जो मेरी पूंजी आप समझ सकते हैं, मैं उसको अपनी वेल्थ मानता हूँ. I consider power of soul my wealth, and I think you should also consider. I don't consider material my wealth. I don't consider money my wealth. I don't consider material like gold or ornament or house or whatever position I have, you have. I don't consider all those my wealth because wealth is not, even this body is not wealth. It's wealth for purpose of use only till time you stay here within that period. And once you leave this body, this doesn't mean anything except this is material which has to decompose. And decomposition is a must because this is organic, this is not inorganic. Try to understand what I'm saying. Organic material always decomposes, and inorganic material does not decompose but works radioactively. Got my point? Every element, chemistry says there are elements iron, steel, aluminum, etc., etc. These keep on changing their composition, and in long term, you can say in hundreds and thousands of years, ultimately everything leads to radioactive lead, that is chemistry, and that's also physics. If you go to modern physics or atomic physics or nuclear physics, you will find so many issues, and it is related to uranium, and that also is very much radioactive. So I'm talking about inorganic and inorganic. Both our body has basically organic, but there are few we can say very ignorable particles like iron, like magnesium, like so many other issues in body, which keep something, but that is not considered. It's you can say very little in quantity. For example, banana is organic, but it contains some iron same way. So this is very much composition for purpose of health, and we have to be very realistic that God understands about that power understands what's required for this body, for equilibrium of this body, for maintenance of this body, and for function of well performance of this body for certain period. And it's such a beautiful design it is that doesn't need an electric supply. There's no switch, there's no plug, there's no socket in this. It keeps on working, and there's no question of antenna or signals or hotline, or you can say Wi-Fi, or whatever we can say. There's no requirement as such. Everything is automatic, much more than what we have done. We have say artificial intelligence. It's all meaningless because this is already natural intelligence is here. My mind is much more than artificial intelligence. Of course, it depends upon everybody's efficiency. It depends upon how कितना आप काम कर सकते हैं, कितना आप सोच सकते हैं, कितना आप आगे जा सकते हैं, कितना आप पीछे रह सकते हैं, उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. मेरे कहने से आपके कहने से कुछ नहीं हुआ. फिर मैं वही कह रहा हूँ. मैं बात जो कर रहा हूँ इमेजिनरी नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं प्रैक्टिकल कर रहा हूँ. इमेजिनेशन इसलिए हो सकता है क्योंकि इसका कोई प्रूफ नहीं है. There is no evidence. We cannot justify, we cannot ratify, but you cannot ratify your respiration also. How your respiration is working, how can you ratify that? How your body is working, how can you justify that? Can some medical or medical officer justify this? Can some doctor justify this? Can some scientist justify this? Nobody can explain it. And that's again I say, because I am living, I am here. That's why I say yes, it exists. So it is positive and negative, you have to understand. And mathematically, we can so there's nothing positive, nothing negative, just it's question of reference. We have certain datum line, and datum line is called origin. If you say graph paper, there's x-axis and y-axis very simple. Then the z-axis also, that's in three dimension. So in x-axis, we say, oh, this first quadrant, this second quadrant, this third quadrant, this fourth quadrant. We say like this. So 90 degree, 180, then 270, and then 360. We say this, and this is in you can say degree 0 to 90 degree, this then choose 180, 180 to 70, and 270 to 360. Or we can call otherwise in other values also radian. There's a radian value, there's 0 to 100, 100, 200, like this 300, 400. So in place of 360, we say that is 400. Now why I'm talking is that is relative, negative or positive, otherwise everything exists. Something exists which is visible to our eyes or mind, and something exists which is neither visible to eyes but visible to mind. And mind cannot see physically, it can realize mentally. So mental power is always more than eyes. And there are also two one more eyes. One is here in front, you can say physical eyes, which is his eyes, retina, and all this. There's another eye behind this eye, which actually mind uses. That is spiritual eye or soul eyes. This is my head. This is not soul. Inside there is soul. So we say, oh, this is positive and negative. Yes, we have to understand for purpose of understanding or relative relation. We can say yes. It is negative, it is positive. If you say, oh, just like in trigonometry, we can say, oh, this is first quadrant 0 to 90 degree. This is a 90-degree line. This is, you can say, abscissa, and this is, you can say, ordinates. So abscissa and ordinate, abscissa to ordinates first quadrant is 0 to 90. Then ordinate to abscissa, another quadrant is 0 to 1, 90 to 180. So this is a plus and this is minus, and then below 0 is minus, and left of 0 origin we say is negative. Same way, y-axis above is positive, above 0 and above origin, and below origin it is negative. It's reference, it's not fact, but surface axis. Surface axis, same way, my body is positive and soul is negative because there's a reference, and that reference is not known. You have to realize that reference. वो reference कहाँ है? वहाँ कोई डिग्री कैलकुलेशन नहीं है. You have to realize yourself, where does it locate? And locate is within you. Yes, we realize when we are in profession, we do something with great deep concentration. We have some, we can say, work standard. We have some knowledge theoretically. We do practical work, then we can understand that without thinking, without concentration, without continuous study, without practice, we cannot perform anything successfully. And that is really very understandable approach, or you can say a kind of process that we have to maintain, but it's your process. It's not, it cannot be same process for everybody. Somebody you see is very smart mentally, and somebody is smart physically. Both is, if you, I wear very good dress, or I am very so tied up and I'm very attractive person, it is physical attraction. But somebody picks up and answers and provides so very fast and understands everything very fast. Nobody goes to his cloth. Oh, such a brilliant person is talking in Hindi. I can't even understand. Let me think twice or thrice only, then I can understand what he told. That is mental power. That's much you remain. You try to understand. If your mind is strong, if my mind is strong, don't think that I'll be angry. No. My mind shall give me, shall help me to resolve problems. That is power point. Strong mind means there is no limit. And weak mind means you are not able to use your power. You are just living for sake of living. Maybe you think or just do some work and sleep and just have family. That is life. And once in no, I don't require family. My family is whole world. Try to understand. You have nuclear family or you have joint family. You are responsible for that. But there is a person who says, no, entire world is my family. Which one is better? You think yourself. We say Vasudev Kutum. What does it mean? It doesn't mean it is religious. It doesn't mean anything. It's only title. Vasudev Kutum. No. Whole world is my family. This means is that. That's it. Not only this world, whole universe and all universes. So a person who lives for entire world is God's representative, because you cannot have capacity to think that way or to take responsibility as such. But if no, I'm not living for only myself or for my family or for my relatives. I am thinking, I am living for everyone, everyone on earth. So you are not ordinary person in that case. That's I want to tell. There are so many people. I think majority of people don't think like this. Oh no, I have to earn food. I have to have family. I have to have kids. I want to live good life, a healthy life, and I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I want to see marriage of my daughter, marriage of my granddaughter, marriage of my grandson and grandson. Those people are not mentally strong. This is Saul. Saul is weak. That's it. Such people, soul is not strong. They cannot have determination for others. Maybe they say, oh, I conducted marriage for so many years. I've grown up this family and I did a lot in my life. Okay, for that person, that is life. If that person is limited, or we can say confined objective to achieve in life. If I want to say no, I am this one. Now, for example, I say a king. I'm just trying to explain. It does not mean there is king or ruler or president or others. What do they do? You join this position, fine. You are congratulated. आपको बधाई हो कि आपने इतनी अच्छी पोजीशन पाई. पर पर्पस क्या है? आपके जीने के लिए पर्पस है, आपकी रैश करने के लिए पर्पस है, या आपकी कोई जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन भी है? Do you have any job description here? Do you have some job description? If you are a president of a country or a prime minister of a country or a king of somewhere or emir somewhere, you have got certain liabilities and you have got certain responsibilities which you may not understand. Oh, I got this responsibility. I'm enjoying this life. No, you have no right to enjoy this life. You have same right to enjoy life as very ordinary person in your kingdom or in your state. You are representing that power which brought to you this position. This means you have responsibility much. You are first responsible person in that area where you rule. And if you cannot solve problem, you cannot understand problem, you cannot give back, God means God expects you to handle those people his way. Means they should get whatever is required for them. And that is your job. Your job is not, I am a diplomatic person, I am king, I'm head of state, I should be given this protocol and that protocol, I should be saluted. That is not your requirement. You have to serve society, because if you serve society, people should be happy in your kingdom. But you do not do that. In that case, you are not doing anything what God required you to do, and you shall be punished. Don't worry, you shall be punished. I am assuring you that you shall be punished. And you must be punished. Let me put on my battery. It is already 74%. Otherwise, it will be down. During cases in history, many wars have been fought. So many people, and from beginning itself, for example, even to long back in our country's history, though it may not be history, it may be called imagination, but let us consider this history. I'm saying, okay, let us consider for timing, for purpose of explanation, that Ramayana was history. In Satya Yuga, there was a Satya Yuga which people call everything was truth. Was it correct? So my yugas are different. I will explain to you them. I consider every number as yuga. For example, this is Satya means seventh. Traita used mean three. And now they tell Kali Yuga is actually two. So what I say, there was Yug 9, or it's a positive 0, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All these are yugas, ages. Means something happened everywhere in every time. It's not only that, oh, it was Satya we call, then came Treta Yuga, then came Dwapar Yuga. We call in our country, in our dharma, which people say dharma, but they do not understand reality. Nobody analyzes it. Whatever has been said in some holy books, they understand to that limit only. But I explain it further, I expand it. This is Satya Yuga. What is Satya Yuga? Satya means truth. Time when truth was prevalent. Then came Dwapar. In Satyug was this. In Satyug was something different. There were different types of kings and different types of powers. And then came, there was a name Harishchandra in our history. You know, you might have heard Harishchandra. आपने सुना होगा हरिश्चंद्र थे सतयुग में. Yes, history wise it is. Now I have not seen, but I have seen. But Harishchandra, what does it mean? This means that person lived for truth, and that person did everything for truth. That person sacrificed everything for truth, did not care for self, did not care for self, wife or kids. That represents truth. So Satyug means Satya, this means truth. Then they say, then came Treta Yuga. Seven means Sat. In our language, seven means Sat. And then this is Treta. Treta means three. They do not know it is three. They only say Treta Yuga. Treta means three. In Treta Yuga, we call Ram came. Ram Yuga. Lord Ram, Bhagwan Ram, they call. And then in other Yuga, that was two, that's Dwapar, we call Dwapar, but it's two. And then came Krishna. So Ram came in Treta, and in Dwapar came Krishna. And in Satyug was Harishchandra, as I said, resemblance to truth. But this is only what we say. Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, and now they call Kali Yug. So nobody knows what is Kal, what is two, what is three, what nobody knows what they say. In Ramayana, it is Treta Yug when Ram and Ravan war, you can say, was fought. And in Dwapar Yug, Krishna and you can say Mahabharata. This is what only we know, not more than this. And that's what, because we are told like this, books say that. But I don't expect that that is complete. I say every number had some yug. In some time, yug mathematics developed, in some yug science developed, in some age calculations developed in some age, you can say power developed in some age, you can say authority developed in some ways, so much developed that we can say 0 age, 9 age, 8 age, 7 age, 6 age, 5 age, 4 age, 3 age, 2 age, and then 1 age, and then again 0. So it is perpetual progression. Now they call dramatically, or by just for purpose of saying that it is Kali Yuga, they call it black actually. I don't say it is black. I don't agree with that. Nothing is black and nothing is white. Kal means parts, parts of machinery. You can say, for example, screw nut. You can say screwdriver, spare parts, wheels, stalling, car stalling, or whatever machinery you use, aircraft, train. These are kal, means mechanical parts. Life has become mechanically oriented. Very rarely we walk now. We don't work manually. मीन्स जनरली लाइफ हैज बिकम मैकेनाइज्ड, मशीनों की तरफ हम जा रहे हैं। पहले भी थी, ऐसा नहीं है नहीं थी, पहले सॉल मशीन थी, अब मेटल मशीन है। दैट इज ओनली डिफरेंट। इन दोज डेज सॉल वाज सिग्निफिकेंट, now soul is not understood but machines are understood, electronic gadgets are understood. So you may call it Kali Yuga, means machine parts use, or whatever type of machine it is, computer machine, supercomputer machine, mechanical machine, electrical machine, whatever it is, and our machine itself. This was always there. We should not forget. This body and soul were present in all ages, and this is most significant machine. So I can say every age has got with itself Kali Yuga. So you can say 0 age Kali Yuga, likewise Satyug, Kali Yuga, likewise whatever Yuga is there, Kali Yuga is there. Without Kal, nothing. Or you can say Kal means art. That is another way to state. It doesn't mean black. It doesn't mean only parts. It means art, science, engineering, medical. These are all kala. You see, they call only, I'm not sure, they call 64 arts are available in some place in this universe. These says, I mean to say, people say, or those who know, they say, but 64 arts cover every aspect of life. So engineering is also hard. Medical is also hard in that case, but I'm not going to discuss that one, because I'm just trying to explain to you what we are living in, where we are living in, what is purpose of living, and what is soul, and what's different with soul and body. Should we respect what we should do? Should we train soul, or should we enhance our soul? And should we think, or should we learn, and should we apply it wherever it's required, not just for purpose of living body, but for purpose of working body, performing body, future body, career body, and developing body of this world. And most important point is that what is purpose of this life? Purpose of life, we have come here, which is common understanding that we are here on this site of earth. I can say it's site, let us say construction site or whatever site, because I'm an engineer of civil, so I may say it is a site for me, and it's site for all. We have a site for care, and that is you have to improve something. Plan is there. We have to use that plan. Details are there. We use those details and do some improvement work on this God's product. Or you may call it as part of development or extension, or you may say retrofitting, or you may what you could call it. It depends upon. I will say that we have to do some work on this, which can be called development work. And development work takes time. And you are 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, it's hardly, you may use 30% of your lifetime for this development. Remaining time we use just for wasting it. In childhood, we enjoy, we go to school, we go to college, university, and then we get married after that, after getting job, and in that we enjoy our life. So you may say just 25 to 30% of lifetime is used only for purpose of work, and other times are just for maintenance. You can say maintenance of life. God expects that you this 30% period, what you use, you should develop my work, my world. Do we do that? That's my question. And that's why I'm talking about soul. What does your soul say? Ask your soul, ask yourself, are you doing what was your job, assignment? And if you are not doing, what is reason? And what you are doing for, is that yours? That's my question. Self question. Everybody has to think that way. Is whatever you're doing for your life, you are struggling for that. You have been struggling. You have been arrogant. You say, no, this is my destiny. This objective. Is that your destiny? That question you have to raise to your soul, yourself, and get an answer. Your soul shall certainly answer you. No way it fails to answer, and that's really very much significant. Maybe no, I'm not saying you do what I say. No, you have to think yourself. I'm just trying to tell procedure. I'm not teaching you again. I'm saying it's neither teaching nor preaching. Nothing. It's just deliberation of what I understand. Or you may say it's kind of self-debate. And you can raise questions if it's possible for me. If some soul comes to me and tells me something, I understand that, I'll respond. Otherwise, it's not possible. You say life is dominant everywhere. But what for? For destroying wealth of earth. It may be wealth on surface, or it may be wealth in mines, it may be wealth in deeper part of earth, it may be sea and ocean. Human is so efficient, so proficient, that it tries to destroy, to erode, to, you can say, harm, to damage God's property. We have done it. Whole world has done it. You can say main example is air pollution, water bodies pollution, surface pollution, and consequently human body pollution, because all these pollutions impact upon human body, animals body, plastic, decomposition of material, polluted water, polluted sewage, everything. And ultimately, what happens? All these actions and reactions lead to, or you can say, result in pollution of mind, which is very harmful. This mind is domain for body. This mind is command for body. And if you spoil mind, we cannot get any good work by use of mind. I'm talking something very, very significant. If my mind is polluted, I can't say I will do pollution only. I'll spread pollution. I'll feel bad and I'll force others feel bad. So that's what I have to say. I have to understand myself. What's my job? I'm not saying that don't earn money. I'm not saying don't enjoy life. I'm not saying don't have family. Every right you have, every privilege you have to do that. But ultimately, you came for what? That's my question. It is not soul question. It is not, you can say, religious question. It is question of facts. Ultimately, everybody is here. What for? Means I am here to work for God. Work for God means I have to improve this planet. I have to improve this planet by whatever way is feasible. And I understand your constant stays, your constant profession, wherever you're constant in your work for life, that is your work destiny. That is your work scope. If understanding projects, your project was here on earth and you are given some contract or subcontract, go and do this, and you are doing that, your payment shall be made there. Don't worry, your valuations are ongoing. Your payment shall not be made here. If you think payment shall be made here, then you are not understanding. You have not understood. I'm not talking of payment on earth. I'm talking of something which is not a payment in terms of currency or in terms of dollars or rupees. That is something else. And that payment you have to keep intact. Otherwise, you see, that payment shall not be made to you, and then you'll suffer. And there should be no alternative. There should be no overdraft. So be careful. Power of soul is your friend. It's your world. There is no limit. You can gain as much as you want. You can draw it, but don't forget Drawing is not free of cost. You have to use it, and that's cost. No money, you have to pay, but you have to use it. Otherwise, it won't stay with you. It stays with you only when you use power of soul. And power of soul use is very, very easy and very difficult also. Both way. Very easy in a way that you can use it for work, you can use for life, you can use for thinking, for concentration, you can use for whatever purpose, and more and more and more and more shall come to you. Don't worry about that. There should be no bill at all. If you use it, there should be no bill. If you don't use it, you shall be penalized because you are given something. You did not just like this. Oh, a budget is there, budget allocation is there. I did not use it. So what minister was doing? Minister was sleeping. You didn't do anything. Oh, you this palace. There's still this lump. The money is not spent. What are you doing? You did nothing. And that's and if you do spend money, there's this investigation inquiry. Don't worry about investigation inquiry. If you use your money of soul, there shall be no inquiry, but you shall be recommended for other work as well, which may be of higher level. Maybe you're scientist here, that may be something else, or maybe you're somewhere here and you will be given more responsibility, or even you will be allowed some responsibility there itself. I'm not saying heaven or hell. I don't believe in that because your mind is your heaven and your mind is your hell, and your body is your heaven, your body is your hell, your thinking is your heaven and your thinking is your hell. What do you do? For example, a scientist who works on nuclear energy and that produces electrical power or some other power which is good for humanity, good for earth. It doesn't destruct anything, and that scientist positive, or you can say good scientist for God, or why the same scientist produces bomb. I think bomb shall not develop anything, right? It shall kill people, kill, destroy buildings, just like it's happening now. So for Israel and Palestine is happening. Same thing happened in Ukraine and Russia. Our countries, Pakistan and Bharat, it happens many time. And in past also it happened. Just like as I give example of Mahabharata and Ramayana, means history is full of such activities where destruction as well as construction both were done. Development, I mean to say, when I say construction, this means development. Developments were done, destructions were done, both were done, but destruction is destruction. Don't take it religiously. I'm not saying religiously. Destruction is right of God only. It's none of our right. Nobody has got any right in this world to destruct something intentionally. Yes, destruction for purpose of remaking is something else. I'm not saying because that instruction comes from the. If I'm going to redevelop it, that's something else. But that is not for purpose of destruction or killing people or destroying wealth. That is purpose of making whatever is there already used, and you can say it is salvage material, and I'm going to renew it, I'm going to reform it, and I'm going to develop it for better use of us. That is not destruction. That's a kind of retrofitting image or kind of something that you want to prolong life of this. So that is work of construction. In this, sometimes dismantling or demolition is also permitted, but just for sake of breaking something, just for sake of destructing something or destroying something, you break something or spoil something, that is not acceptable. This right is endowed with that power only because this is property of that power, and that power got every right to break anything or to destroy anything for purpose of rebuilding or replenishing what we don't have right. And that's the reason that everybody is distracted by that power. There is no option, there is no alternative. You are leaving this world, or we call death, that has got no compromise, that has to happen just like birth happened. So we have to take both considerations in parallel. That we, if I have to go, then something else also has to go. Someone else also have to come. And same way, somebody has to come, just like I came. I was mobilized to earth. I shall be demobilized one day. Same way, everybody is mobilized to earth and demobilized one time. Likewise, this cycle moves. So we should not mind. Today I am here. I'm in this body. I don't know what shall happen. I have to stay there. Nobody knows. It all depends upon my curriculum vitae, which I prepare here. Just like we put a job curriculum vitae, this is also job. This is permanent job. In this, there is no compromise. There is no other housing. This is only housing. And this housing, you get another housing within that. And that other housing, get another housing within that. This sequence goes on and like a telescope. It goes on and on. We put it down, put it up, we focus it, we refocus, we do like this, we do like it goes on and on and on. It works like that. So we have to be very specific about this. We have to understand how does it work, how it happens, and there is again I say there is no other option except to understand in explicit terms what we are. बिल्कुल सही प्रकार से समझना चाहिए कि हम क्या सोच रहे हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं, क्या सोच सकते हैं, क्या कर सकते हैं. अगर हम वो नहीं समझ सकते तो शायद हम कुछ नहीं समझ सकते. बहुत बड़ा इशू है जो हमको समझना चाहिए. अगर हम इसको नहीं समझेंगे तो बेकार है सब. लेकिन यहाँ बात और भी है. So for example, as I said here, in this case, I just want to read few powers of power of solve. It's really very significant to understand about what is power of solve. It cannot just be taken for casually granted that it could be just either a phrase or a term. Explanation cannot be charted out to comply with some available provision or formula because power of soul cannot be confined to mundane world, or one can say that this power is spread all over areas of universes. No imagination can go beyond such power or energy. When one understands this power, such powerful conception can change mindset completely, permitting person to move unlimited or massively without considering about whether or not materials would be gained. One must keep in mind that from mundane world, earth, nothing can go with person. When person departs or demobilizes from earth to unknown permanent destination, which place can be named real home for soul. One may have ownership of trillions or whatever sum on earth, mundane world. All material wealth shall have to be left here, including housing in which soul stays for living period of soul within mundane body. Then why should one worry about collection of mundane wealth? Can one contemplate on this issue? That's my question. You contemplate about this. If one cannot develop energy in existing soul, one can really do nothing in life, but one can live only for sake of survival or living, just like to eat and drink and sleep. No one lives on earth just to please others or to please society or to compete among all other members of society. In fact, such competition remains always a myth because that competition has gotten nothing to do at place of permanent residence of soul. Whatever one does on earth for self and relative and close one, nothing shall go with one. If one does for soul that one has gotten with it, that shall be or for sure would go with persons. In fact, while remaining on earth, mundane world, person fails to realize about what should be destiny for person, whereas person is dipped by surrounding circumstances, which all conditions divert person from real facts and takes person to work only for self and mundane relations, rather than worrying about person's boss being supreme power who mobilize person's soul to earth or mundane world. Person's chatter is lost somewhere, which was known to person prior to entering or being mobilized into mundane world, but person never tries even to recall that forgotten job description or requirement of person's soul of deportation to earth. Power of soul can be understood by person who thinks a lot sincerely and applies those thoughts. What's thought of whether contemplation may be right or it may not be right, which state would be responded by results of work application, but work even if goes wrong or say incorrect, it shall act as a teacher for person, or it can be called lesson learned from errors or mistakes. It's true that soul cannot be seen and can also not be checked for its contained potential or working on energy that can be applied. Soul is something ex mundane but applicable exclusively and inclusively both. Soul has no defined capacity in a person's mind and therefore thereby within all other parts of body that can be recalled and received as and when required without encountering any problem and also without making any payment to vendor supreme power of this commodity. But person while staying on journey without within mundane planet or earth cannot understand easily included value within soul and its structure. Nature is always very kind and courteous with every every creature which is designed and manufactured or produced in unlimited numbers. Nature means herein all aspects and not just physical nature, by all entities of God designed and built nature. Person itself is an entity produced by nature, which must realize fact that every person in reality is a machine operated by immense power of soul. Person not considering just human person who is nothing less than a plant in its turnkey position without applying any further work on this excepting maintaining its capacity by food and water, fuel as defined or at necessary variable frequency. Every person has been mobilized to Earth mundane planet by superpower, not because person entity just stay on earth and then demobilize just for sake of staying. Person should be considered given an employment by superpower to work on some job description that must have been incumbent allotted for incumbent individuals. Certain work must have been allotted for helping world improve in short and long term. If there remains no work for someone, this means deployment from that world has gotten no meaning. It's true that superworld does not send anyone without defining any destination, though it's understood that destination is to be achieved by individual, but I do not accept this concept because there is nothing for any individual on this planet, even body house in which person lives does not belong to person primarily, whereas its use for person remains significant for whole life or earth stay in good living condition. No one can stay on earth mundane planet without having resigned or delivered on earth biological plant known as living body, which for sure cannot be taken back to other world, but it is always disposed of by whatever method. Every person is free to work on this planet and to add power to just a minimum potential of soul, which is certainly required essentially for sake of living at least. A supreme superpower never ever stops or prevents anyone from conducting process of augmentation of this power of soul. This power is so strong and efficient in its functioning that no obstacle can come on its way, but its performance takes its power strength further intensified. Person has got many numbers of parts in this body. Housing these parts have related significance to mind room, while every part has been designed for direct as well as indirect functioning with mind. Body is very complex plant field which cannot be explicitly understood comprehensively in details. Whole plant has been wrapped carefully into complete functioning mode in such a coordinated way that there can be possibility of at no moment then that all parts do not work or could be either one does not work. Each part has obtained its own significance to whatever role or job it has to perform along with whole plant throughout entire span of body working in form of plant. Person must take advantage of such a beautiful, strong, continuously performing, durable, and reliable machine or equipment which no profession in mundane life can provide with. During entire lifespan, person does not understand value of such equipment because once one has gotten something without any effort, that something is not considered valuable by person. But when it does not exist, it is question mark. Unfortunately and unknowingly, person remains in false world that some power would come to him or her by itself and bring good faith to person automatically. Per superpower's wish, person forgets that superpower does not believe in self-success without making any effort. Even that superpower is required to work for reaching whatever achievement. On what basis then person believes that by virtue of itself and by luck success would be achieved. Power of soul is factual energy that can motivate person to start, move, and keep rapidly running on way, leading to set goals. If one does as such, there remains no other way to achieve success or during movement on way. Many more ways shall be discovered by application of interest and use of mind, as it has been said earlier that no size or dimension can be worked out or measurement taken from power of soul, which soul remains at one time in its own adopted units because performance by person based on quantum of power of solar energy whatever in quantity is necessary to be taken off person shall be successful in extracting that quantity from mind store or chamber. Fluctuations may occur in current use of power of soul depending upon requirement, but necessary quantity would always be available if person so requires. It is stressed again that there exists no such upper limit which person may not use beyond. Reference cannot be given to just the size of head or tolerance or no tolerance by person, but person's mind got no limits. It may be massively at times and normal at certain times, depending upon capacity of thinking, multiple thinking, communications, coordinations, and whatever else essential requirement. Person would get demanded quantity as in required. If someone can try, he may try without any obstruction, providing some goal has been set. To be very frank, this is an energy funding done by universe for each and every person, provided person uses it, but hardly 1% may use it if required. I told 1% on higher accounts, while it could be much lower. Soul can be so powerful at times that it may help other individuals by extending assistance to those who require such assistance for whatever acts to be done by support of soul power donator. There can be no defined units in that regard, but just the continuous help. Just imagine about what you got immense power of soul and you start feeling energies at all times and continue enjoying such energies. It shall certainly give person extreme pleasure, power of organization and controls over all affairs at whatever location in mundane world. But problem arises when person uses such energies for destructive purpose because of for such purposes also power of soul can be used without any kind of incoming constraint from nature. Yes, destruction is a part of nature, but not by individuals or by those who are travelers on earth. Production of nuclear bombs and killing weapons do require such powers, but supreme power shall never be pleased with such bad use. Person shall have to respond to all such bad acts. Supreme power shall certainly act against such a soul for extreme stern action, because destruction of nature and humanity are not accepted by superpower. Results and punishment may be awarded say suspension of soul out of universe for many hundred years or such other harsh action to punish. Just trying to give something here, and it's really significant one. And I'm not saying that is something very specific, but I had written something. I did not show you that. We were at some points I told you, many points are left. I really उसमें कुछ मैंने चाहता था कि आपको बता दूं, समझा दूं, जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ा ताकि टाइम ज़्यादा न लगे। कोई ऐसी बात नहीं, मैं पेपर आपको दिखाऊंगा और भी मैं लिखूंगा, क्योंकि अभी तक तुम्हें भी पूरी तरह समझ नहीं पाऊंगी सॉल्व एक्चुअली है क्या। कैलकुलेशंस अलग चीज़ है, उसको समझना दूसरी चीज़ है, लेकिन समझ तो आता है। हम जब समझना चाहेंगे तो समझ आएगा, जब समझना नहीं चाहेंगे तो समझ नहीं आएगा। इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल। इफ आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड, इफ आई डोंट वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड देयर इज नो फोर्स दैट कैन force me to understand it comprehensively or in details or in short means. It's up to you. Nobody can force anybody. That is what I say. It is my choice and I have to, it's my right, it's your right, everybody's right. If you want to understand, you can understand. If you don't understand, you cannot understand. No way, nobody can force. Again I say, no one can force you. We have to realize this fact that we are all here. We are employees of God, we are employees of nature, we are employees of universe. We are not paid directly on earth, but whatever work we do, we have given food, we are given everything, and we are not doing any specific work on this earth. The earth is something we do not know what it is. Even scientists do not know composition of Earth, what it actually is. A 12,000 kilometer, 12,500 diameter sphere, and we say in geological engineering that this is first 35 kilometers of crust, and then up to 3,000 something kilometer of mantle, and then core, and you can see this just 12,500 kilometers specific diameter, sphere diameter, and you think of how much is about sun. It's means 13 lakh kilometers. It is 12,500. That is 13 lakh 1.3 million kilometer. And likewise, Jupiter there and so many other there. Jupiter is located 76 crore kilometer from here, and just Sun is 15 crore kilometer from here. Likewise, you can say such a vast system exists. For what? For us. I'm getting sun's mercy, sun's light, I'm getting air, I'm getting, it's all free of cost. We are not paying anything here. Parties are required for us. If we this don't, we can't survive and live. So God knows it, and that person has already provided, is already arranged this, and organization goes and on. This organization doesn't stop. It never stops on for a second, means it goes on and on. The organization chart is like that. We are there just like workers, and we have to respect that. We have to, means everything is beyond our control. My body is not in my control. My soul is not in my control, but I have to control my soul. That's really I'm talking about. I can't control my body, but I can control my soul. मैं अपने शरीर को कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकता, नियंत्रण नहीं ला सकता, लेकिन मैं अपनी आत्मा को तो नियंत्रण में ला सकता हूँ। मैं आज कहते हैं ना सेल्फ कंट्रोल, सेल्फ कंट्रोल कहते हैं। अपने ऊपर नियंत्रण करना। कहते हैं ना, इट इज अ फ्रेज आई थिंक, सी इफ यू कंट्रोल सेल्फ you can control the world. You discipline yourself, you can discipline others. It's very difficult. You discipline means you have to punish yourself as well. You have to appreciate yourself as well. You have to work yourself as well. You have to decide what you चार्ट आउट। आपको किधर क्या जाना है, कब करना है, कौन सा करना है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या है, कंट्रोल्स है, सब कुछ आपको करना होगा। और ये कोई बुक नहीं बताएगी आपको, कोई एजुकेशन नहीं बताएगी आपको, खुद ही एजुकेट करना होगा। You are teacher, you are student, you are researcher, you are innovator, you are applicator, you are engineer, you are director, you are everything. Can you that? It's here, everything. If God can do it, I can do it. Because I am part of God, can I realize that? To many people I say, to think that you are honor of this universe. Surprised, I shocking, I'm honor. Yes, मैं इस ब्रह्मांड का स्वामी हूं। अगर मैं ये सोचूं तो क्या खराब है, मेरा क्या जाएगा, क्या मैंने कुछ ले लिया, सोचा ही तो है। और जो सोचते हैं कोशिश भी वही करते हैं। जो सोने वाले हैं वो सोते रहते हैं, जो सोचने वाले हैं वो सोचते रहते हैं। और सोचने का मतलब है सोचने के बाद करना। क्योंकि अगर आपके माइंड में कोई चीज आती है, वो आपको बेचैन कर देगी जब तक आप उसे करने की कोशिश नहीं करेंगे। यही सिस्टम है, आपको बेचैन कर दिया जाएगा। You shall have no consolence without doing that. If some solution comes to your mind, if some concept comes to your mind, and that is very important, and that is called enlightenment. That's called arrogance in mind, not to harm others, but to train you. One has to train self, and that training no teacher can give you, no guru can give you. You have to take it considering God your guru, nature your guru, your teacher. You can get that, otherwise you cannot get that. So mind is that reception station, mind is that control station which can bring to you entire power which you require to add to your soul power. It will come to you, don't worry, because you have capacity to control yourself. You say, I want this job, that job shall come to you. I want this power, that power shall come. In fact, you shall be delegated power of representation. That power of presentation, if you can get it, it's up to you. If you don't want, up to you, because it's a question of responsibility and question of doing something for better results on this earth, or you can say for development and further development of purpose of which is that you are here, I am here, everybody's here. Enjoy your life doesn't mean that don't enjoy. I don't say enjoy, but main enjoy life means you have to develop this life. And if you think that you're a representative, it's your capacity. If you say you're a representative, then you have to conduct accordingly. Don't think you're a representative for sake of representative, you can coordinate for sake of coordination. No. Coordinator is also representative. A representative is also representative. Instead, you have to take more and more responsibility, and your soul will give you more and more power. Whenever is required, don't worry about that. It shall come to you. So if you want to be representative of God, you have to decide yourself. God doesn't say no. If you work, God gives you more power, more responsibility. But God shall not come to you say, why don't you work? God won't say that. You have to work. You have to identify your responsibility. You have to start. You see, you start. Once you start and move, power would come to you. You start and move, power come to you. This is your organization chart. This is your plan. When I say your plan is supported by that plan. And that is very significant one. So can you accept yourself to be representative or agent or delegated person or deputy? And if you can do that, you shall be different person in this world. You shall be not silent. You may be silent in mind, otherwise not. You would do whatever is required to be done. And that is very important part of life. And that's what I say. It is very important to understand how soul works. What can you get from soul? How can you keep your soul with you? How can you maintain friendship with it? How can you maintain your ownership with it? It is you to think. I will talk later on about this because I am feeling a little tired. I'll come back to you about power of soul. Till that time, thank you very much. I keep it close now. I'll talk to you again.